That's what I'm talking about. Yes, up in here. That's what I'm talking about. Because today we're going to talk about something very important, and that's you being the master of your own reality. You being the master of your own life, your own thoughts, your own mind, your own words, your own actions, and your own world. You're the master here of what you experience. You're the one creating it. It's not happening out there. It's not happening because of other factors. It's you in your own mind. Your thoughts become your reality. Your actions, your beliefs, your thoughts, and your feelings all put together are what you are. That's what you are. And if you believe that we are part of a powerful, incredible, infinitely loving source, which we may call God, then that's what you will represent in this world. And that's what you will teach others. And finally, that's what you will, by your energy, demand others represent to you. And that's how we really do not change the world, but bring the world into an alignment with its natural reflection of God's love. Because that's what we're here to do. We were created in love to create more love. That's it. And if we're not doing that, we're not mastering our reality. We are giving away our power to forces outside of us. So today's lesson started with me and John. It comes from this saying that he has hanging in his office that says, if things get better with age, I'm approaching magnificence. And so while we were working around the building together for a couple of months, John, I said, approaching magnificence is not enough for me. I want to master magnificence. How about that? He says, yeah, that's what we're doing. Like, I've been approaching it for so long, I must be there already. Right? You've been talking about your God-given abilities to master your reality for so long. You must be there already. So let's act like it. Let's master magnificence. Let's just not be comfortable approaching it someday. Oh, maybe I'll be in heaven someday. No, we are in heaven now, and that's because we never left. And so if we are in heaven in truth and in spirit, then we must bring the reflection of heaven here on earth. Isn't that the Lord's Prayer? As in heaven, so let it be on earth as it is in heaven. Well, why not? Why don't we do that? Because we don't want to actually be the master of our reality. We're too scared of that. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more and really want to demonstrate today that no matter what is happening in your life and however you experience the world, you are actually the one determining how that experience is for you. You're the one determining what your reality is for you. So it's been said that as children of God, we are allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. So yes, I am God's masterpiece. And yes, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still learning. I'm still developing. I'm still becoming more aware. And I'm still allowing my awareness to expand and my consciousness to expand to include more of God's creation. So we're allowed to be that masterpiece and a work in progress simultaneously. That's why we say to the kids, we love you, we bless you, and we what? We accept you just the way you are. Zzz. I love that. Just the way you are. And if you're accepting yourself and your neighbors just the way you are, then you're allowing for further growth. If you don't accept it, what are you doing? You're locking it into that perception, saying, this is the way it is, and I don't accept it. And how are you going to change it if you don't accept it? If you don't accept the way it is, it's going to stay that way for you. You're going to define it that way always. But if I accept you just the way you are, I'm allowing for change. And I'm allowing also for that perfect masterpiece of God to be manifest in you right here and right now. So let's take a look at this a little further. The true master, we're talking about being a master, right? Mastering magnificence. The true master is one who masters what? The inner light. So you are actually a master of yourself. You're not mastering things outside of yourself. You know, the ship has sailed for me to master the guitar, for instance. I don't have it anymore, the passion to do that. But I've mastered those 10 chords that I learned. And I've written a bunch of songs, and I mastered those songs. Like, I have mastered what I do. You know, pretty proficient playing the harmonica. But I'm never going to be in the Jay Giles band. You know, why? Because they are all old. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean that. But the truth is, I'm mastering myself. I can master carpentry. I can master poetry. I can master economics. It doesn't matter. I can be an incredible mind. But the thing that we are mastering is ourself. That's the truth. We're mastering our authentic self. And when we are authentic and we are following that which calls to our heart, we're always happy. I told somebody that I was coaching this week that find something that you truly love to do and you will never work a day in your life. You'll never work a day in your life. Lao Tzu, right? Did he say that first? Well, I'm going to say it to you again. Because a lot of people are searching for something to master. But no, search for what makes you happy. Search, and you don't have to search for it because it's already there, and you discover each and every day that you are truly happy doing what you're doing. And when you find something you're truly happy doing, it's not work. It is play. It is adventure. It is learning. It is a growth. And it sparks that internal growth. And so that is mastering the inner light. Because the inner light has brought you to that moment and that place of you're discovering what really gives you joy. The Spirit brought you to that place that really gives you joy. And so therefore, that's what you're mastering. The moment of joy. That inner light. So we're mastering ourselves, really, and the inner light that's within. We're constantly asking the question, what is mine to do today? And we're going forth with zeal, with enthusiasm, like Charles Fillmore said at 93 years old. I wake with joy and enthusiasm and go forth to do what is mine to do today. Wow, just today. I'm going to go forth and be the light of the world. Today, that's what I'm going to do. And second, we're learning how to use our God-given superpowers, all of which come from that inner light. If you have the power of healing, if you have the power of knowledge and wisdom, if you have the powerful intuition of how to handle situations, if you have that amazing ability to communicate with people, if you have that creative ability to create art and music and dance and all kinds of expressions of this light, then these are superpowers, really. These are powers that you have. And we are not concerned with manipulating or dominating outer forms. There's a mistaken, insane idea in the world today that by manipulating and dominating the forms out there, I'm going to be the master of my reality. It's not true. The only thing you can master is what is within. That's where we are focusing our attention. I want to master the inner light. And I want to bring that out into the world in a way that represents the truth. The truth of who we are and the truth of what God is. So the third thing that we have, this innate magnificence within us. It's given us by our Creator. I mean, the only real mastery there could ever be is really to master that magnificence. That's the only mastery there could ever be, is to find that magnificent self that you are. And after you discover it, and after you've activated it, then master it. Like master the ability to shine that and be that magnificent self in this world. Don't let the world tell you who you are. Allow that God within to show you who you are. And it will continue to show you through your demonstration of God's love in you in the world. Yet that's how I found out who I am, is that in impossible situations, God's love flowed through me in a way that I could make a difference, and that I could shine the light. And I didn't even know it until I was there doing it. And so you are here and you're doing it. If you're sitting here today, you're shining that inner light. You are here at least in a discovery or a willingness to discover that inner light. And so if that's what you're after, there must have been a point somewhere in your life where you have seen the inner light. And you said, yes, that's who I am. That's who I'm committed to be. I'm going to master that. So this is what allows us, this inner light is what allows us to create a world of endless joy. Endless joy and oneness and eternal love for everyone. This is where the fun begins, my friends. You know, we've been given this magnificence, this masterpiece in progress. We've been given that. That's what we are. And we're asked to complete the picture. Now, the amazing thing is we've been given the canvas. We've been given, like, here's the masterpiece. Here's the paintbrush. Here's the paints, the colors, and the knowledge of how to do it. And we stand there and go, well, I don't want to do it. I don't know how to do it. I'm afraid to complete that picture. I'm afraid. And so what happens is that the world will start completing the picture for you. And it might look like anything. It might look like ugliness. It might look like poverty. It might look like sickness. It might look like loneliness. It might look like all the evils that you perceive in the world and all the problems that you tell me you have. And all it is your refusal to take control of your own life and paint your own masterpiece. That's all it is. One day I decided, no, I am going to use these principles and I'm going to practice them in my life and I'm just going to see what happens, because what I've been doing isn't working. I found myself with, I would say, you'd say, I don't have any money. Well, it was worse than that. I had $16,000 of debt. It wasn't that I had no money. I owed money. I was in minus, red, 16. What happened? I decided if I got $1, I'm going to give 10 cents to the source of my spiritual food. If I got $100, $10 were going to the source of my spiritual food. If somebody gave me $1,000, $100 was going to the source of my spiritual food. And that hasn't stopped. And in fact, now I am debt-free. I'm debt-free. How many of you can say that? I am debt-free, completely debt-free. Both our cars are paid off. We live in a beautiful condo. I have a personal real estate agent. I have several personal healers that I can call on anytime for my health. I have an amazing music director who's been helped me to learn all these new songs, and I play the harmonica. I'm a harmonica playing minister. How many of those do you guys know? I can play the blues and preach the sermon at the same time. Talk about being authentic. I can't believe it. I'm just doing what I love, and I'm getting paid for it. Why? Because I'm just giving it away as much as I can. When it comes in, it goes out. It flows out into the universe. When I tried to hold on to it, what happened? I would lose it. If I tried to hold on, what would happen is I wasn't making room for anything else to come in. And what would happen is, you still owe these bills, you still owe me this money, you still owe me this and that and this, and all of a sudden it's gone. And nothing else is coming in because I didn't give room for it to come in. I was putting all my energy into holding on. Oh, I got a little room somewhere. Oh, we're not going to let that go. We're not going to go. We can't afford to buy a house. We can't afford. Yes, you can. Somebody told me, of course you can. Like Karen said, you just need to take a first-time home buyer's class. Now, I didn't even know that existed. I'm digressing, of course. But this is my story. I didn't even know that existed. So we went there and we came out with a book like this thick of how to buy a home. So yeah, it just got in my mind. This is how you do it, right? And it didn't matter. Like the finances caught up with my mind. So I also, so we've been in our condo a year and a half now, and we're just loving it. We're so happy there together. And it wouldn't have occurred if I didn't allow the thought in that it was possible. It wouldn't have occurred to me that I could be debt-free if I didn't allow the thought into my mind that it was possible and focus on that thought. So one day, I have all these wonderful sayings in my office and things people give me, but this little piece of paper popped up, says, I am debt-free. And I said, that's nice. And I just posted it, right? And I wasn't at the time. I still had a lot of credit card debt. And I posted it right in front of me. And I left it there for 9-10 months. 1 year went by. And all of a sudden, I looked at that and I said, you know what? It's true. I've paid off all of my credit cards. Both our cars are paid off. The only thing that we owe is our mortgage. And it's incredible. Because I was living in a way that created debt. And so how much of and I'm going to get off of this subject in a second, but how many of us live in a way that creates spiritual debt? Think about that. How many of us live in a way that creates the debt of health? You're giving away your health to certain ideas. How many people here today live in a way that creates emotional debt? How many times do you think about those people that hurt you, or the ones that you think are hurting you out there, or the systems that hurt you, or all of the oppression of the world? You're creating emotional debt to those systems and to those people. Withdraw your funds now. Withdraw your funds, and you know how to pay off that debt? Forgiveness. Acceptance. Let it go. What is mine to do, I will do. If it's not mine to do, I'm not going to have a debt to that idea. But if it's mine to do, I'm going to do it with magnificence. With 100% of my energy, I'm going to put my whole self into it. And it will not only succeed in a worldly sense, it will succeed in bringing me to a point where I know I'm on my spiritual purpose. I am here in this life to do this. I knew I was here in this life to be a minister. I knew I was teaching spiritual principles for 25, 30 years already before I came to this place. I had no idea it would be here. But I knew I was supposed to step into the role of unity minister. Yes, I was an international teacher of A Course in Miracles. I was the associate minister at 2 other churches, organizations that weren't connected to unity, but very new thought and wonderful organizations. But somehow within my soul, I knew I need to step into being a unity minister. And here it is. Way before I was a unity minister, people would ask me, what do you do? I said, I'm a unity minister. I hadn't taken one class. Not one. I hadn't taken one class in unity at that time. What do you do? I'm a unity minister. Guess what? 5 years later, or when did we meet? Almost 6 years now. At least 5 years. I'm an ordained, licensed unity minister. So it wasn't just claiming it, it was getting in touch with that unity minister within me and mastering the idea that this was mine to do. And whatever is yours to do is the most important thing in the universe because it's yours. You have to be yourself. Everyone else is taken, my friends. You have to be yourself. So in that vein, you are a miracle. You are the miracle. You are capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. Okay? Everything else is your own nightmare, and it doesn't exist. This is a big idea. This is a huge idea. This is the idea that will change your life forever if you can hear this today. You are a miracle. You are here to create in the likeness of eternal love, your Creator. And everything else is your own nightmare. You're dreaming. It doesn't exist. You're going to have to wake up. Only the creations of light are real. That's why we are mastering the inner light. That's why we're mastering our magnificence. Now I'm going to give you an example of why it doesn't exist. The past is over, right? Everyone can admit the past is over. Whatever happened yesterday, that was yesterday. It's not happening today. Whatever happened 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40, where is it right now? In my memory. It doesn't really exist. It's in my imagination. What exists right now is the energy that we feel between us. What exists right now is the experience that we're having right now. And so right now, I'm going to tell you, is a fact that right now is the only time there is. It's the only moment there is. I read a post on Facebook yesterday that really got me because it was one of my posts from 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I posted this eternal truth from A Course in Miracles that said, the future is just as much over as is the past. Oh my God! What you're planning for tomorrow, that's over too. Now how do I know? Because I posted it 10 years ago. And all of that's over. All of what I thought was the future 10 years ago is now my past. And it's over. And it doesn't exist in this present moment. I feel it. You guys are getting it. Your life is being changed forever, right here and right now. There is only this moment. And the experience that you're having now, this is it. Stay in this awareness, and there will never be a fear of the future or a regret of the past. You will be always here and now, mastering magnificence, mastering that inner light. That's our focus. Not to try to create a future, not to try to fix something that's already in the past, but to be here now in my full magnificence. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose for being here. Now, I've been off for 2 weeks, so I know this is going to be a long message today. I got 3 weeks worth of stuff all built up here. I got books. I got sermons. I got all kinds of stuff. I've got harmonicas. I got everything up here.
I got to work at 5.
And Jack's got to work at 5, so I better get going. But that's how it works, my friends. You're a miracle. You're capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. Get out there and master that magnificence and create it. Our deepest fear, this is according to Marianne Williamson, and I truly believe this, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It didn't get into my notes, did it? Hold on, I'm going to find it. It got cut off. Okay. Your fear is that you're powerful. Your fear is that you are light. It's not your darkness that frightens you, it's your light. You're playing small. You're pretending that you're not magnificent. Just because you're a work in progress, you're still magnificent. Don't stop your progress because you are comfortable in that zone. No, allow that inner light to be mastered by your Christ self, or your higher self, we'll call it, your awakened mind. Allow that inner light to be mastered. You know, your limited mind denies the light. Your limited mind denies your power. Your limited mind is going to deny your God self. But we are here to acknowledge our God self and to acknowledge our light and to master that light. Because there is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God. This is all from Marianne Williamson. The glory of God that is within us. We unconsciously, as we let our own light shine, we allow other people to shine their light. That is my purpose, is to keep shining that light. In that way, I'm allowing you to be the magnificent creation of God that you are. That's how it works. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Isn't that nice? Would you like to be liberated from your own fear today? Yeah, this moment. All right then, just let it be. Shine your light, because the light is going to shine away the fear. If love is the opposite of fear, then I'm going to love, and all that fear is going to go away. That's the answer to fear, is love. Just as the answer to grievance or debt is forgiveness. A friend of mine, Lisa Natoli, she came here and spoke a couple of times. She said, I learned that if you want to get out of debt, start forgiving. That gets you out of debt. You don't need this complicated economics. You need to forgive. When you forgive and let go, you are releasing your emotional debt to those people and institutions and ideas. When you forgive, you're freeing yourself. Do you want to be free of fear today? Forgive. Forgive and keep forgiving. You know, when the disciples asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive my brother? Up until 7? Should I forgive him 7 times? And he said, no, you have to forgive him 7 times 70 times. So the disciple went back to the others and he said, not only do we have to forgive, now we have to do math. But that's how it works. You got to do it. You got to practice the principles. I want to just read something from Ellen Davenport. I think that's the next one. No, from the Bible. You are God's. I know I only have like a couple of minutes left here. But in these couple of minutes, I want to remind you that you are God's. That you are power. And I'm pressing this button. There it is. Okay. I was going backwards in time. Don't do that. Stay here. Stay with me. Stay right here and now, Tony. Okay. I'm right here and right now with you, telling you that you are God's and you are all children of the Most High. So when Jesus, or Yeshua, was teaching, he was demonstrating his God self. And everyone around him, except for his followers, they were getting very angry that he would call himself the Son of God, and that he therefore was equating himself with God. And when they questioned him on that, he went back to the old teachings in the Psalms, and he says, "Isn't it said in your law that I said ye are gods, and you are all children of the Most High?" You are gods. That's the answer. Is that he wasn't saying, it's just me. He's saying, I'm demonstrating what you are and what we are together. I'm not saying that this is only me, but even in your law, it says we are all gods. We all have the superpowers within us. At that point, he was teaching that I and the Father, or whatever God is to you, he's called it Father, I and the Father are one. They got so mad at that they wanted to stone him and kill him because of that blasphemy of saying that I and God are one, that we are one. And so in the scripture in John, it goes like this. They took up stones again to stone him. But Yeshua said to them, many works I have shown you from my Father. For which of those works are you stoning me? And they answered and said, it's not for the works that we want to kill you, dude. It's because it's for blasphemy. Because you are a man and you make yourself God. And then he answered them and he said, it is written in your law that I said, you are gods. I'm not making myself God. I'm reminding you that you are gods. That you are made in the likeness and in the image of God. And that we are capable of miracles. Made in the image and the likeness of infinite universal mind. We have the same qualities. And so it's up to each of us to master that magnificence that we were born with. Instead of denying and attacking the Christ within, we have the opportunity to let go and mature and finally master that magnificence. What do you see when you guys see a baby? What do you see? Don't you see a magnificent creation of God? Beautiful baby, unbelievably pure, and it can't do anything. It can't talk, it can't walk, it can't even take care of itself. You got to change its diapers and make sure it's fed, and it cries all the time, and yet it's perfect. It's magnificent. Oh my God, you cannot deny the magnificence of that baby, the perfection of that child. And that child doesn't have to do anything to be perfect. Neither do you. Do you hear me? You're already perfect as God created you. There's nothing you need do to be perfect because you are already. And you are beloved of everyone. You are so loved by your Father and Mother God. You are magnificent. And just remember, when you look in the mirror to behold yourself as you behold that little child, that you are a magnificent creation of God. That Christ child within needs to be nurtured. It needs to be taken care of. It needs to be guided. That magnificent being of light that you are needs to be fed spiritual food. And you will discover that you are unlimited in potential and in power. That you are the master of your own reality. And that you are magnificent creation of God. And so I'm going to ask each and every one of you to step it up a little and begin to master that magnificence. Thank you. I love you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.